In kinetic theory of gases, now we will discuss a very important concept. Actually, we are going to discuss transport phenomena. When you say transport phenomena, you can see the just literal meaning of this term transport. Transportation means something that moves from one part of region to another. So you will see in this discussion actually there will be a transportation of some property from one region to another in a gaseous system, and so such phenomena are known as transport phenomena. But before going to discuss the proper transport phenomenon, first of all we would like to define what is this transport phenomena in concrete sense. And I am not defining it directly, but to define it, I am going to start with the idea which we have actually studied in Maxwell's distribution law of molecular velocity of gases. And from that distribution law, we will be able to define this particular phenomena which are known as transport phenomena. So as you have studied in Maxwell's distribution law of molecular velocity of gases, that if a gaseous system is in equilibrium, that is when you say that gaseous system is in equilibrium, what does it mean? It means we suppose that there is no mass motion in the gaseous system. Although molecules have thermal motion, the molecules move randomly and fastly, but as a whole the gaseous system does not move. So you can say that there is no mass motion. Then actually Maxwell's velocity distribution law holds. But this is not only one condition. The another important condition for the validity of this law is what? This is actually the temperature T of the gaseous system must be throughout same. It means you can say that the gaseous system must be in thermal equilibrium. This is actually the another criteria or condition for the validity of this Maxwell's distribution law. And the third one is that the molecular concentration should be also same throughout. When you say molecular concentration, what does it mean? It means the number of molecules per unit volume. That is called molecular concentration. It is also known as particle density or molecular density, you can say. And this molecular density or molecular concentration should be also same throughout of the gaseous system for the validity of Maxwell's distribution law. So, if all these three conditions are met, then how we define mathematically Maxwell's velocity distribution law? You have already studied this in the previous lectures. So now let us consider that the number of molecules having velocity components lying between Vx and Vx plus dVx, Vy and Vy plus dVy, Vz and Vz plus dVz is equal to dn. Then you have seen during the study of Maxwell's distribution law that this number dn of molecule is given by this formula. This is actually known as Maxwell's velocity distribution law, that you have seen that this dn in accordance with this law is equal to na to the power 3 e raised to the power minus b Vx square plus Vy square plus Vz square times dVx dVy dVz. Actually this dVx dVy dVz is actually the elementary volume, or you can say volume element in velocity space, and a and b are actually constants. You have seen earlier what is the meaning of this a and b, so there is no need to write here the value of a and b, but you have seen that actually this a is equal to b over pi square root, and B is equal to m over 2 kT, where k is Boltzmann constant. So there is no need to write the value. But this equation, as I have told you, will hold when there is no mass motion in the gas. But now let us consider that our gaseous system has mass motion. That is, the gaseous system as a whole also moves. So if we consider that our gaseous system has mass motion, then definitely in that condition, this equation 1, which defines the Maxwell velocity distribution law, must be modified. This needs actually modification. So if we want to use this formula or this law in case of mass motion, then as I have told you that this equation has to be modified in a particular manner. So what modification it will need and how it will be modified, we can see it. So now let us consider that our gaseous system has mass motion, and let the gas has mass motion. That is, the gaseous system bodily moves to mass motion. If you don't understand what is mass motion, you can take an example that if let us consider a bus is standing and the passengers are moving here and there, then that bus is actually a gaseous system, and you can say the passenger are actually molecules. But when the bus also moves and passenger also moves inside the bus, then the motion of the passenger is actually thermal motion if you compare to the molecule of the gas, and motion of the bus is actually mass motion. So you can think that if we consider that our gas is like a bus, then the passenger is like actually the molecules of the gas. So motion of passenger means thermal motion, and motion of bus means mass motion of the gas. So I hope after this example you have definitely understand what is the basic difference between mass motion of the gas and the thermal or random motion of the molecules of the gas. So now let us consider that our gaseous system has mass motion. So let the gas has mass motion, and we consider that V naught x, this is x component of the velocity due to mass motion. Velocity due to mass motion. And similarly, we consider this V naught y is actually the y component of velocity due to mass motion. And similarly, you can also assume that this V naught z, this is actually the z component of velocity due to mass motion. So if you consider that gaseous system has mass motion and you have defined that these are actually the components of velocity due to mass motion, then actually our gaseous molecule, the gaseous molecule's velocity will have actually two parts. And so in this condition, what will be actual velocity of the molecule of the gas, you can calculate it. See here, actually the velocity when there was no mass motion in x direction was Vx, and when there is mass motion, then this molecule also experiences a velocity which is V naught x. So in fact, in this condition, if we calculate the velocity of the molecule with mass motion in x direction, then that will be actually simply equal to this Vx minus V naught x. Actually this is just a relative velocity. So you can say that corresponding to corresponding to thermal motion, corresponding to thermal motion without mass motion, without mass motion, similar quantities with mass motion are. What will be this? If you write that the resulting x component of velocity in this condition of molecules of the gas is this capital Vx, then this capital Vx will be equal to Vx minus V naught x. Actually, as you have seen, this Vx is actually the x component of thermal velocity when we do not consider the mass motion, and V naught x is actually the x component of velocity due to mass motion. So when there will be mass motion, then actually the resulting x component of velocity of our molecule, or you can say the actual velocity of the molecule in x direction, will be equal to Vx minus V naught x. And similarly in y direction, this will be equal to Vy minus V naught y, and in z direction this will be Vz equal to Vz minus V naught z. So in this condition, if you want to write the Maxwell velocity distribution law when the gaseous system has mass motion 2, then in this equation 1 we will simply replace these Vx, Vy and Vz by the capital Vx, capital Vy and capital Vz. Then you will get the Maxwell distribution law for a gaseous system in mass motion. So you can say, so Maxwell's distribution law in this condition. When you say in this condition, what does it mean? It means when we consider that our gaseous system has mass motion. In this condition is, what will be the equation? You can see this will be dN equal to Na raised to the power 3 E raised to the power minus b, and at the place of a small Vx, a small Vy and a small Vz, we will now write this capital Vx square plus capital Vy square plus capital Vz square, and at the place of dVx, dVy, dVz, we will write dVx, dVy, all capitals, and dVz. This is actually Maxwell's velocity distribution law when we consider that our gaseous system has mass motion 2. It means the motion of the molecule has not only its thermal component, but it has also the mass motion velocity component. So now see this equation 2. When this equation 2 will be actually satisfied, or when this will hold good, you can see, as you can see from this equation, that this equation will hold good only when these components v naught x, v naught y and v naught z, which are actually the x, y, z component of velocity due to mass motion, if these these components will be constant throughout, it means the component of velocity of mass motion is same throughout the gaseous system. And apart from that, gas must be in thermal equilibrium, the molecular concentration should be also same. So this equation 2 is valid, or it will hold good only when we can say that this v naught x, v naught y, v naught z, and apart from this, temperature T and the molecular concentration N are constant throughout the gas. So let us write it for your, I am writing it for your convenience. So you can say this equation. When you say this equation, it means equation number 2. So this equation 2 holds good. Holds good only if this v naught x, v naught y and v naught z, and apart from it temperature T and the molecular concentration N are constant throughout the gas. So for the validity of this equation, these 5 parameters must be constant, must be same throughout the gaseous system. But let us now consider that our gaseous system is not in equilibrium state. So in that condition, actually this v naught x, v naught y, v naught z, T and N will be different in different parts of the same gas. And in fact, in that condition, 3 important phenomena will take place. If the gas will be in equilibrium, then these 5 parameters will be constant. But if the gas is not in equilibrium, then we can say that this v naught x, v naught y, v naught z, T and N, all these will vary point to point in the gaseous system. So you can say if the gas is not in equilibrium, state, if the gas is not in equilibrium state, then there are variation in these quantities. These quantity means v naught x, v naught y, v naught z, T and N. And it leads, it means variation of these quantities leads three possibilities, and all these 3 possibilities may take place simultaneously, or you can say jointly or singly. 3 possibilities which may occur singly or jointly. Although when we will discuss these three possibilities, then we will consider it singly, but in practice these three possibilities uh, may take place either singly or jointly. So I think you have understand what I am talking to you till now. So now see what are the three possibilities you can see here. First of all, we consider that the components of the mass motion velocity, that is v naught x, v naught y, and v naught z, are not same throughout the gaseous system. Let us consider it. So if v naught x, v naught y, and v naught z are not constant, or you can say same, constant means same, or same throughout the gas, throughout the gas. It means at present we are considering only that these three components of velocity are different in different parts of the gas. We are not talking about T and N. You may consider that T and N are throughout constant, but these V naught x, V naught y, and V naught z are not constant. So what will happen? Let us consider that this is a layer of your gas, and this is another layer, and these two layers are in contact. And as you have assumed that the mass velocity of different regions are different, so it is possible that this layer is faster, its velocity is larger, you can consider it, and this is slower. So what will happen? Actually, these two layers of the gaseous system are in contact and one is moving faster than another, then definitely the faster layer actually exerts a force on the slower layer, and its tendency is to accelerate the slower layer so that its velocity becomes equal to the velocity of faster layer. That is, there should be no relative motion between these two layers. On the other hand, this slower layer will also exert force on this faster layer, but that will be a retarding force, because this slower layer will tend to retard the faster so that its velocity becomes equal to the slower layer. Finally, you can say that the purpose of these two layers is to make the relative velocity between them equal to 0. So in this condition, if the components of mass motion velocity varies throughout the gas, then actually there will be relative motion between different layers or different parts of the gaseous system. So if they are not constant, then there is a relative motion, a relative motion between different layers, of the gas, different layers of the gas. And actually, as I have told you, that for seizing the relative motion, in fact this system has a tendency to seize the relative motion between the layers, and for that this faster layer exerts force on the slower layer, accelerating force. And when you say that faster layer exerts force, according to second law of motion, actually the faster layer is imparting momentum to the slower layer. So there will be just a transport of momentum from the faster layer to the slower layer. So in this condition, for sieging of relative velocity, there is a transport, or you can say transport or transfer of momentum, from faster to slower layer, and actually this transport of momentum gives rise to a famous phenomena which is known as viscosity. So you can say that cause of viscosity is what? The cause of viscosity is transport or transfer of momentum. So transfer of momentum gives rise to the phenomenon of viscosity. So this viscosity is the first transport phenomena. Actually in this lecture we are just defining what is this transport phenomena, but after this we will see all the three transport phenomena separately in detail. In the second lecture we will actually discuss this viscosity, how it arises, what will be its value, and what are the factors on which this viscosity of gas will depend. Everything will be discussed in the next lecture. So in short, you can say that when there will be mass motion, then the different layer will move mass motion, and due to mass motion different layer will move with different velocity, and there will be a relative motion between the layers of the gas, and the gaseous system has a tendency to seize the relative motion. It does not want there should be a relative motion. It has a tendency that there should be no relative motion between different layers. It means all layers should move with same velocity, and for that faster layer actually faster layer actually accelerates the slower layer, and slower layer actually retards the faster layer. And so in this condition, the faster layer actually exerts force, and exertion of force means transfer of momentum according to second law of motion. So you can say if there will be a mass motion in gaseous system, and the mass motion velocity components are not constant throughout, then actually there will be a transport of momentum from the faster layer to the slower layer, and this transfer of momentum actually gives rise to a phenomenon which is called viscosity. So viscosity is actually the first transport phenomenon, and this is due to transport of momentum. So remember, this is the basic fact, that viscosity is causes due to the transport of momentum. Now let us consider the another possibility. In another possibility we consider that the temperature of the gas is not throughout same. T is not equal to constant. So what will happen? You can easily think. Let us consider that this is one layer of the gas, this is another layer of the gas. It is at temperature T1 and it is at temperature T2, and you can say that T1 is greater than T2, let us say T1 is greater than T2. We consider it. So what will happen? If this layer is actually at higher temperature and this is at lower temperature, there will be a transport, there will be a transference of thermal energy or heat energy from the hotter layer to the colder layer. So in this condition you can say if temperature of the gas is not throughout same, then there will be a transport of energy. There will be a transport of energy, or you can say thermal energy, and actually this transport of thermal energy gives rise to a phenomenon which is called thermal conductivity. So if T is not constant, then thermal energy transfers from hotter layer to colder layer. Hotter layer to colder layer. And so there is a transport of thermal energy. Transport of thermal energy. Transport of thermal energy. Are you getting these things? This is very easy concept. So I hope you are definitely understanding all these things. So transport of thermal and this transport of thermal energy gives rise to the phenomenon of thermal conductivity. Thermal conductivity. So actually this thermal conductivity is the second transport phenomenon, and this is caused due to transport of thermal energy. And why this transport of thermal energy takes place? Because our gaseous system is not in thermal equilibrium. The temperature of this system is different in different parts. So when the gas will have different temperature in different parts, then there will be a transport of thermal energy from the hotter region to colder region, and that will give rise to thermal conductivity. So this is the second transport phenomenon. Now let us see the third possibility. As I have told you earlier that for the validity of Maxwell's distribution law, the number density or the molecular concentration should be throughout same. But think, if that number density is not constant, then what will happen? So if you can say this n, which is actually the number of gas molecules in unit volume of the gas, this n is not equal to constant. It means in different part of the gas the molecular concentration is different. So now let us consider this is one layer of the gas and this is another layer, and here there is concentration N1 and here is concentration N2. And we again consider that this N1 is greater than N2. Then what will happen? If the molecular concentration in this region is larger than this region, then definitely there will be a transport of the molecules from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. And transfer of molecule means transfer of mass. So in this condition you can say due to the movement of molecule from the regions of higher value of n to the region of lower value of n, so there will be a transport or transfer of mass, and this transfer of mass actually gives rise to a famous phenomenon which is called diffusion. You may also call it diffusion, but diffusion always you may also call it self diffusion, but diffusion is always self, so it is simply called diffusion. So if n is not constant, then there will be transfer of molecules from high concentration region to low concentration region. And transfer of molecule means transfer of mass. So in this case you can say there is a transport of mass. And this transport of mass gives rise to a phenomenon which is called diffusion. This is called diffusion. So this is actually the third transport phenomenon. So what you have learnt, I am just going to write it in short. So first of all, I am writing here cause of transport phenomenon. What is the cause of transport phenomenon? And then I am writing what property gets actually transferred. Property transported. And due to that transfer of due to the transfer of that property, which phenomenon takes place? So here will be actually the name of the phenomenon. You have seen if mass velocity is different in different regions, that is, you can say V naught x, V naught y, V naught z are different in different part of the gas, not constant. Then actually the property which get transported is what? That is momentum. Momentum is transported. And this transport of momentum actually gives rise to the phenomenon which is called viscosity. Actually what we have learnt in this lecture, I am just writing it in very brief, and you can easily understand all the concept from this. Now again we have seen if T is not constant, it means there is a variation in temperature in the gaseous system. Then what property transported? Remember what I have told you earlier. You can remember that when there is when the temperature of the gaseous system is different in different parts, then you have seen there is a transport of thermal energy, or you may simply call energy. Thermal energy is transported. And due to transport of thermal energy, which phenomenon takes place? Semi. Which phenomenon? That phenomenon is actually called thermal conductivity. Thermal conductivity. And third one is what? Third one is, what is the cause of third transport phenomenon? When the molecular concentration N is not constant, it is different in a different region. And due to this, which property gets transferred? You can say this is nothing, this is simply mass. So if N is not same throughout, then there will be a transfer of mass from higher concentration region to lower concentration region, and this gives rise to a famous phenomenon which is called this is called diffusion. So actually you have learnt in this introductory lecture on transport phenomenon that what is this transport phenomenon and what property is transferred during this, and what is the cause of that transport of that property, and due to the transport of that property which phenomenon takes place. So basically three phenomenon takes place: viscosity, thermal conductivity, and diffusion. And actually viscosity is caused due to the transfer of momentum, and thermal conductivity due to transfer of thermal energy, and diffusion due to transfer of mass. So this is a basic introduction regarding the transport phenomenon, and as I have told you that in next lecture we will see in detail this phenomenon viscosity, that is viscosity of gas. We will discuss it, and after that thermal conductivity and diffusion we will discuss separately. So this is all about the introduction regarding the transport phenomena.